Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome to a Cinema 4D tutorial about how I do IK rigging. This can apply to any method how the character is rigged. It can be either bone rig or a how would you call this, a polygon grouping, like a polygon grouping. I don't know how you specifically call this, but I will call it polygon grouping. So yeah, let's get started. So I always start with legs, and there's one thing that I always make sure, or gotta, make sure that the legs are bended. As you can see right here, see that the rotations are 0, so that doesn't mean they're not properly bended. There's a reason why you have to, there's a reason why you gotta make sure it's bended like this, in a forward kind of thing, and it's not like straight. There's a reason. Basically, if you just do this first, you can see oh, actually it actually works here properly. Sometimes Cinema 4D will have problems calculating where to bend properly, so it will just sometimes it will completely flip the leg in general, and it will just do some kind of weird things. Sometimes it will go to the left, and yeah, it will have problems. So what I always do is that I bend it we go to the right view, and then I bend the hip like that to -5, and the knee to 10, because 5 times 2 is 10, and then you also rotate the leg. I guess 175, 175. What if I wait? 5. Yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna set this to 0 and 5. There we go. You do this the same for the other leg. This would be, yeah, -5. This would be 10. And this would be 5. No, -5. -5. Okay, so now, as you can see, the legs are bended, and Cinema won't have any problems to properly bended. So how do you put IK for legs? So basically, what I do, I select the foot, and then I hold Control, and I select the hip, and then I go on character, create IK chain. So what it did for us, it created a IK tag, and it also set up the thing right here, the end goal, the end being the foot, and it also gave us a goal, like a null object, and that's the goal. So now, if we move the goal, you can see that it does the bending. It does the IK for us. It now bends. But we're not done yet for the legs, for the leg specifically, because you can see if you move the character down, you see that the foot also rotates with the thing, and we don't want that. We want it to be still. So how do we do this? I have a way to do this. I have a solution for this. I basically copied the foot object, I make it invisible, and I put it into the goal as into it as a group, and then I select the foot here, and then I right click, I go on rigging tags, and there's constraint, and I select PSR, which stands for position, scale of rotation. I tick that. Now we added a tab, and we don't want position, and we only keep rotation, and the target being the foot that we copied that is on the goal thing. There's also one thing for few rigged characters. I only experienced this with rigged characters specifically, but if you put the copied photo, if you put the target, sometimes the foot would just like rotate in a weird way. If you experience that, then you go on offset and you take maintain original. But so far it did not give us any like rotation issues for this character, so we don't need that on. But if you experience some rotation issues, like if you put the target and it just immediately like changes rotation and it just acts kind of in a weird way, then you go on offset and then you take maintain original. That may fix the problem. So now if we move the character, you can see that the foot stays still. And if you select the copied foot object, or you select goal and you rotate it, you can see that it also rotates it. So you can also animate the foot as well. Yeah, so now we have the foot. Actually, one thing that we forgot is if you're specifically posing a character and you want to do like this stuff like cool, and you also want to rotate the knee, you see that it kind of stays like this. What if you want it to be kind of rotated in like a different direction? What if you want it to be in a different direction? You can do that. If you go on the IK tag, and there's a pole vector which does that, which twists the knee, like the direction basically. So we click on add pole, and it created another null object, which is the pole object. We just move that outside the character group, and then if we move it forward, you see you kind of saw the kind of like a rotation thing. So now if we move it to the right, you see that it also rotates. It like twists the knee. So now if I do this, pose like that, and then I also move the pole, you see it also rotates the knee. So yeah, so now we have the legs. This is basically what I do for the legs. So this is the other leg. I select the foot object, I hold control, I select the hip, I go on character, create a keychain, I do the foot, copy it, put it there, make it invisible. Go on this the foot, the main foot, ringing tags, constant PSR, untick position, I drag the copied foot, and I go on the IK tag and I add a pole, move it outside the thing, move forward. And now you got legs. Pretty cool. So now let's do the arms. Basically it's kind of, you do the same thing like we did. You also make sure the arm is also bended like the legs, because if you don't do the same thing, like you don't do the same for the arms, it will also have some kind of rotation problems, because if you like move it a little bit, then it will go like this. It would be something like this kind of. What else? Yeah, you would have some rotation issues. So basically you did the same thing for the arms. You rotate it like this, how you would do it in real life, basically. This will be 85. Kind of depends on the character. I always do. This will be 5. This will be 10. And oh, it's Andrew Gamer. And I kind of did the same thing for the arm as well. And this will be 5. So there we go. Do the same thing for the other arm. 95. This will be 10. This will be 5. There's no -5. Actually, the arms don't matter, so maybe we can just change. We can just keep it at 0. Only like the arm and the elbow matter, pretty much. So let's go over here. Okay, there we go. And that's pretty much the same process. We select the hand. We go on the arm. We hold control and select it. And create a keychain. Then we add a pull vector. We pull that back. Then we do the same thing here. Create keychain. Add a pull vector. Let me move it back. So now we also have the arms. The arms are pretty easier. You don't have to worry about the arms. You can just, now if I do this, I also rotate this. Yeah, I can do this now, which is cool. It's cool for posing. Now we have this. Now that's basically what I do. I'll also show you one cool bonus. Okay, so the bonus being are the eyes, because I also do the same thing for the eyes. I also make them movable. Without animating the eyes like individually, I have a eye rotator that I put for every single character I rig. It's pretty useful for like animating. It's way easier. You just move this and you see it kind of follows the object. This isn't like extremely difficult. It's just there's a lot of things that you have to do, and you have to keep track of. So I'll show you how I do this. Okay, so what I do, I go on the mask. I go on the eyeballs. There we go. Oh, look at that, they're actually grouped. So we don't need to worry about this. I'll show you. I'll show you why you need the. I'll just actually move this inside the eye groups. There's a reason why you need the eyes to be in like a null object. I'll show you in a moment. So okay, so what I always do, I create a null object, put it into the eyeball. I change the position 0, so we get the specific like location for the eyes. I copy it, put it to the other eyeball. So I set the X position to 0. So now I move these away. I move it forward. So now we have the specific locations, like the X and Y position for the eyeballs. And I also copy another one, and I set the X position to 0. This will be like the main object, like the main object for the rotation that you move. It's basically this. I'm about to show how you do the display things. Like you can see the circles after we do the eyeballs, like the eye rigging. I'm gonna do this one first, and I'll show you how I do these. So how do I put these display kind of things? You can see right here already. So we go on, you select the null object, and we go on object, and there's in the object properties, you see that there's a display thing. For the main like eye rotator thing, I use hexagon. There's orientation, which I always set it to X and Y. So now if we change the radius, you can see now you got a little display thing. And I also changed the aspect ratio, put 2, and you also rotate this to 90 degrees on B. So now you can see this. So I'll make it change the radius to 250 maybe. And for these two null objects that we for the eyeballs, I set it to sphere. Set it to X and Y. Change the radius. Doesn't really matter. Like the radius, you can change to whatever you want. You can set it to whatever you want. So maybe 115. Okay. Now you can see that they're also colored. You can see right here they're also colored. I'll show you how to do this. So you go on basic, and there's display color, and you set it to on. I can see that it's white right here. I select both of these. I select on, and you can also change the color here. I mostly change it to like the depending on his eye color. So we have Freddy, and his eye color is light blue, like kind of blue color. Doesn't really have to be like specifically. You can change it to whatever you want, but this is how I do this cool thing. So yeah, now you can see that they're also colored. So I put these in a group, in the main group, so you can just select this and you can do this. So now, how do I make the eyeballs follow these two circles, like two spheres? There's a tag for this. So okay, first I'll show you why you need the eyeballs to be in a null object. So if I just select these, I go on animation tags and there's target, a target tag. Also, I'm gonna name these so I can know. So this will be IL, and this will be IR. Pretty sure. Yeah. So if I just select, if I just only have these, you'll notice that the eyeball just rotates, and in fact, it's like this. I think you can change the UV mapping here, like the coordinates, but we don't wanna mess with the character much. Like, oh, we can see it kind of rotated as well. Give me a moment. I'm just gonna change it like this. 90, 180. There we go. But we'd also rotate it like that. Okay. And we don't want that. Who would wanna mess around with this? Oh damn! I kind of messed that up probably. Whatever. So there's a reason it rotates the eyeball. So you have these in a null object, and I only put the target tag on the null object. So I just did this. I did this, and I can see it rotated. But yeah, and if you have this in a null object, you can just manually rotate the eyeball. So that is useful. So you can just do -90 here, and there you go. Now you got it. Now you got it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. So now if I move the eye rotator, you can see that it follows like that the eyeballs follow the two circles. So now you also have the eye rotator. That's pretty much it actually. Now you're done. Now you're fully done with your IK rig. Now we're just gonna set up the display thingies, like we have right here and this. So for goals, I use cubes. So we go on object display and we select cube. Orientation, make sure it's always X and Y. And you change the radius. You can change the radius to whatever you want, what suits you. Okay. Then we got for the legs. For poles, I always use spheres. X and Y. Change the radius, something like this. We do the same thing for the arms. So goals are cubes. Yeah, something like this. Poles. This would be sphere. Like this. 150. And now we change now we're gonna change the color. So for goals, I use green. Because this kind of, you see the line right here, it's also green. I set it to the corresponding like line that you have right here. So goals, they're green, and poles are pink. So display color for goals, I set it, the hue will be 120, saturation 100, and for poles, display color on 300 and 100. There we go. And there you go. Now you're done with your IK. This is basically how I do IK rigging. It's not difficult. Yeah. You're done. It's not difficult, but there's a lot of things that you need to keep track of. But once you get the hang of it, then it's super simple. It's simple and not like difficult at all. So now I'm just gonna do a quick little pose, and I also normally just put these in a null object, and I sometimes change the display to none because sometimes you have like the little dot if I put like a null object, you'll see what I mean. If you put a null object and see that there's a dot, it looks kind of distracting to me, so I set display to none, and you can see that there's no display like dot thing. And I just named this as IK, and I also put this in a null object, and I just pretty fast there. And that's basically what I do. I'm just gonna do a little quick pose, just like a little showcase how this thing works. You don't need to like rotate the feet right here. You can just rotate the goal. Turn it like this, this a little bit back. Did this. Yeah. Something like this. I do this. As you can see, the eyes are pretty useful, because if you want to do like an animation and you want the eyeballs to be like you want the eyes to fall like a camera or something, you can see that that it rotates, which is extremely useful for like animations and all that. This is why this is mostly why I rig my characters. They're easy to pose, and they're also easy to it's also easier to animate. So that's basically why I IK rig my characters pretty much. And I also move this down so it's like he's looking at you. There you go. I'm gonna show you a little quick tip. I figured a way to pose fingers extremely like quickly. So you can select these two, you go on rotate, object axis, and there's per object manipulation. You take that, and then you got this. You got this. Now you can pose fingers pretty quickly. Just, what's the thing? It's the rotation. Yeah, like this. You can see that you can pose fingers pretty quickly now. Now it's way easier to pose fingers. I found out about this like not a while ago. I think like 2 months ago, I think. So this is extremely useful. I did this. Yeah, you can see that it rotates like that. It also works like if you select all the fingers. It just rotates the parents, like the children, basically. So like this. Yeah, there you go. And there you go. Now you got a nice little pose. I'm just gonna put a few lights here. A few lights here. I use area. This would be like, I don't know, blue, for example. Looks like this. Have a little normal like white light in the front. Just change the intensity should be low. Something like this. I always turn on ambient occlusion. Yeah, look at that. What a dude. There you go. And I can see you got a nice little pose with our IK rig. Okay, if you want to like rotate the torso, like basically like that, and you also want to move the arms that you want it to follow the torso, you basically select the goals and poles, and you put it into the torso, and there you go. Now you can do this. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was somewhat useful and helpful. If you have any problems, let me know in the comments. I'll try my best to help you out and stuff. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Love you guys.